With the first half of the seasons done and dusted, we're going to take a look at the Arrowverse shows and how they're all shaping up at this stage. I am really wondering where Legends is heading this season. I've liked what I've seen and I've enjoyed the episodes, but we haven't really had any kind of big overarching plot like we had last season with the Legion of Doom. We definitely haven't had anything that's lived up to as good as, those characters and that storyline was. So far we've had this woman with the water. She's been, splashing people and whatnot, and she doesn't seem like a big threat. Like, her versus the entire Legends isn't going to be anything that's going to be too interesting, I don't think. So there's clearly some other big bad villain that we yet to see, or that I've forgotten about maybe. But it'll be interesting to see where they go from here, because it's been a good season. It's just, that next piece that's got to be put into place. Probably the biggest thing that's happened in Legends this season happened during the crossover with the death of Stein. That was easily one of the most, devastating moments in Legends history, definitely, but in the Arrowverse history even, it's been one of those, kind of really sad moments. We knew Victor Garber was leaving the show, or at least I knew that, so it wasn't some big surprise, when he did leave the show. I think the big surprise was the fact that they decided to kill him off. They spent the whole season trying to lead us astray, which they did a good job of by telling this whole story about how he was going to separate Firestorm and go off with his family and, live with his wife and his daughter and his grandchild. And it was going to look like it was a really nice kind of end to Stein's story. So the fact that they killed him off at the end of the crossover was, I think, brilliant kind of twist and turn writing. And I think also just in terms of the crossover, it really helped because it made that, that final battle obviously be kind of, a big inspiration, a big kind of team moment that they'd had lost someone. And in these Arrowverse shows where there's so much of like someone dies, we'll bring them back, we'll bring back their doppelganger, this or that or the other, it was kind of, credit to them for committing to it and just going through with the fact that, no, Stein is dead and that's how it's going to stay. I think that worked really well. The other element, of course, is the other half of Firestorm. At the end of the mid-season finale, Jax leaves and says, oh, he's done with the lit team, he's done with the Legends. Initially, I thought this was just him, kind of as they do, just them creating drama for the end of the mid-season. When we come back in the second half of the year, Jax will just return to the team and there'll be no real consequences of that. He'll just have gone away for a bit and then he'll find a way to come back when they need him. But apparently, the actor Franz Dramer, he has left the show. He has left at least as a series regular. So we're not going to be seeing much of Jax from here on out. It seems that, I don't know if they thought without Stein there was no real point having the two of them together. Maybe they thought there wasn't any stories there. I don't know, but it was a massive surprise. I thought he was one of those kind of, you think with Sarah, you think with Ray, you think Mick, you think these are the three characters that are going to be sticking around, for the majority of the show. And I thought he was one of them. So to see him straight up leave was really strange. I think as well, just the way they got rid of him, like after we had last week the big dramatic moment of the death of Stein, and then this episode suddenly it's just like, oh, Jax has left, let's move on from that. He got like 5 minutes to say, yeah, I'm leaving, that's it. So, but I don't know, I guess it opens the door for other team members, and that's the thing that they've talked about with Legends, that it's always been going to be a rotating roster, which is fine, but it just depends on who is the next character that comes in, who's the next person who's going to fill that spot. And at the moment, I don't think they've done a great job of bringing in new characters. Like, the new additions this season haven't been that great. Last season we got Vixen added. I've never been a big fan of her. It'll be interesting to see where they go with the next member of the team. Do they bring in someone like a Wally West who's struggling on the Flash to find time? Maybe they can bring him into that team and change things up a little, which would be interesting, because I've thought in the past that like Legends is at its best when it is the crossover show. We saw that last year with the whole Legion thing, when it combines elements from the other shows to be a kind of a mini crossover show. That's when I really like Legends, and so hopefully they do bring either some really cool and interesting character like a Blue Beetle or a Booster Gold, which won't happen but would be awesome. But yeah, hopefully they just can find some character who's worthy of replacing Firestorm. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up, comment, share it around with your friends, subscribe, and follow us at Alt Social on Twitter.